I traded myself. And I lost money. Not because my strategy was necessarily wrong, but because I was human. If you have traded yourself, you know what I mean. You make a plan when the market is quiet, and then you break it yourself. Most people who trade lose money. That is simply true. But I was convinced it can be done. Already back in 2016, when I studied physics and learned how to code, I was fascinated by trading bots. So I bought one. It was a grid bot. And honestly, I was disappointed. Simple grid logic, deterministic rules, no real understanding of the market. So some years later, I got fascinated by trading again, and I started trading by myself. I won some, I lost some. And at one point last year, I lost much more on one single hit. That was when I decided to not do it alone. So I started using ChatGPT to guide and help me. Not to give me signals, to think things through with me. And this is why I think AI systems are so powerful. They are software, so they bring everything software has always been good at. They run 24/7, always ready, always available, on demand. They have no emotions. They stick to the plan. They do exactly what we tell them to do. Everything I failed at, software already does. That part is not new. That is what software has always done. But it was also blind. My grid bot followed its rules perfectly. It just did not understand anything. What is new is what happens inside these models. Neural networks gave that same software something it never had before. They can reason. And they reason damn good. I know it because I use them a lot, every single day. So now we have software that never sleeps, never panics, never breaks its own rules, and can actually think. Discipline and reasoning in one system for the first time, that is huge. I kept thinking this has to be possible. So I started building my own trading bot, a real trading bot this time. Although I prefer to call it an agent, because to me it is more than a bot. It has memory, it reasons, it observes, it makes decisions, it learns, and it waits. I did not want to invent a new way of trading. I wanted to replicate how a good human trader actually works. The core of the Soul Quant trading system consists of two agents, the promoter and the controller. The promoter's job is to find and promote potential trade setups. It uses indicators, volume profiles, and the same analysis tools a trader would use. It defines the current market regime, the important levels, the support and resistance zones, and from there it builds the possible scenarios. But it does not simply check the chart every few seconds. It defines which events should make it rethink its own interpretation. A price reaching a level, a candle closing, a structure breaking, and then it defines its next wake up. That becomes its heartbeat. When the promoter identifies a valid setup, it sends a complete trade proposal to the controller. That proposal includes the entry, stop loss, take profit, confidence score, and most importantly, the reasoning behind the trade. The controller receives the proposal and independently reviews it. If the controller agrees, it sizes the trade and places it through the connected broker. If it disagrees, it rejects the proposal and sends it back to the promoter. The agent that finds a trade is not automatically allowed to execute it. When I traded, there was nobody to tell me no. One agent builds the thesis, another agent challenges it, and honestly, that is one of my favorite parts of the whole system. And this is the core workflow of the trading system. But there is more. What kind of setups the promoter looks for is defined by its strategy. The strategy is the trading style you give your agent. The market conditions it should trade, the direction, the aggressiveness, the risk logic, and the structures it is allowed to trade. But here is the part I actually spent my time on. I did not want to build a system that runs one strategy well. I wanted a system that can run any strategy. So I built the layer underneath it first. I call it the doctrine. The doctrine is the permanent ground rules of the agent. Who it is, what it is responsible for, and how it has to behave inside the system. The doctrine never talks about setups or indicators or markets. That is exactly the point. Because the ground rules say nothing about how to trade, almost any strategy can sit on top of them. Trend following, mean reversion, breakout and retest, DCA into the dip. As long as the market data it needs is available, the promoter can run it. And you do not have to write one yourself. Quant comes with strategy templates you can start from. You pick the style you want to trade and adjust it from there. But if you have your own way of trading, the system will run that instead. Strategies change, learnings evolve. But the doctrine holds, it protects the identity and the discipline of the agent. And I did not want an agent that only follows its rules. I wanted it to learn from what it does and get better over time. That is what the third layer is for. Long-term memory managed by its own agent, the curator. The curator does not trade. It runs after a defined trading period and reads back everything the system did. Every observation, every promotion, every rejection, every trade, and how it ended. Then it looks at those decisions again in hindsight, with the same tools the promoter and the controller had at the time. And it writes the learnings, not to rewrite the system. Learnings never override the strategy and never touch the doctrine. They live inside them. They do what a good trader does after a bad month. Look back, find the mistake you keep making, and stop making it. This analysis is heavy, so the curator can run on one of the strongest models available, while the promoter runs on something faster and cheaper. You decide that per agent. So this is what an agent actually is. Doctrine, strategy, learnings, those three are the soul of the agent. And that is where the name comes from. I do not believe AI is profitable simply because it is AI. And I do not believe there is a magic model that can predict every move in the market. But an agent can watch the market 24 hours a day. It does not get tired, it does not get greedy, it does not revenge trade. It can sit still when there is no setup, it can follow the same process again and again. And now for the first time it can also reason. That is a new kind of software. And I have more ideas for what sits on top of it. Something that scans every market and builds these systems by itself. When you combine that reasoning with strict rules, independent control, memory, and continuous learning, I believe it is possible to build a system with a real edge. That is what I am building with Quant. Not a promise of easy money, not another black box trading bot, a transparent system of agents that observes, reasons, challenges itself, and acts with discipline. And now you can find out for yourself whether it works. I am opening this up to the first 10 people. For them, the platform is free, no monthly fee, not now, not later. You only pay for the tokens your agents actually use. Why free? Because I want you to really use it. And I want to learn from what happens when you do, what you build with it, where it breaks, what it teaches us. Because this really is only the beginning. I am going to keep building this, and the people who are here early will see all of it. So if you want to explore this from the very beginning, join now. The market will keep changing. The models will keep improving, and Soul Quant will keep learning. Your strategy, its discipline. Welcome to Soul Quant.